guys, I'm Layla. Today we're in talking Raid Shadow Legends, collabs, what if with other like series and IPs. Now, considering that Solo Leveling, I really think is a very, very good anime, and it did win Anime of the Year. As you guys see here for the Anime Awards, I mean, it won like a ridiculous amount of awards, right? We got Anime of the Year, Best Score, Best Ending Sequence, Best Voice Artist, Best Action, Best New Series. Like I think it won like 9 awards or something. So that being said, the next series we're going to be doing is Solo Leveling, and we're going to be starting off with Jin-Woo. Now, I want to know what you guys think. Drop me some comments down below. So again, this is just a fun, like, what if AI concept reimagine series if Raid X collabed with some of these other, animes, IPs, movies, TV series, and such, right? And that Solo Leveling was very fitting. So I asked, as usual, if Jin-Woo from Solo Leveling was a champ in Raid, what faction would he be in? What would his kit be? And also to make sure that AI makes him fit within the current game, like branding in an existing faction. I don't really want us giving like a new faction that we don't have. So it says if Jin-Woo from Solo Leveling was a champ in Raid, he'd fit seamlessly into the game's world while still honoring his original lore. And here's how he might look. So this is how they envisioned him. Is they think he's going to fit in Shadowkin? And I like that. Let me know what you guys think. Is this a Jin-Woo's origins aesthetic and his shadow powers align well with Shadowkin, since it's a faction steeped in dark mysticism, spirit summoning, and ancient martial arts. So like Jin-Woo, the Shadowkin champions often walk the line between darkness and discipline, carrying an air of mystery and deadly precision. So I think I like that. I think I like seeing them put him into Shadowkin, and I like the methodology behind that. So they have his name being Jin-Woo, the Shadow Monarch. Love it. Love it. So they have him a Void Legendary Attack Shadowkin champion. I think all of that makes sense. And they have a tiny little lore blurb for him. So this is what they came up with, just like a little lore thing, as they said. Once an ordinary man of no renown, Jin-Woo made a contract with the death itself and arose as the Shadow Monarch, a commander of an endless undead army bound by will, not rot. Now from the twilight realms of the Shadowkin, he answers a darker call, one to shatter the chains of fate and become the hunter of hunters. Okay, I like it, because again, in Solo Leveling, that's what they are. They're hunters, right? So I think they did a good job with that. And let's check out what they did with his kit. So his A1, they have Sovereign Slash. So they said that it attacks one enemy with a 50% chance of granting an extra turn if the target is killed. Damage increases by 10% for each active Shadow Soldier on the battlefield and scales with attack. So I love this already. We haven't read the rest of the kit, but already they envision Jin-Woo having a Shadow Soldier, like in the anime series, and I love that. I think that's so fun. A2 is called Shadow Army with a 4-turn cooldown. Summons 2 Shadow Soldiers for 3 turns. And these minions scale off of Jin-Woo's attack and have 50% of his stats. Shadow Soldiers will prioritize enemies with the lowest HP. And the Shadow Soldiers will vanish if Jin-Woo dies. And upgrades increase summon stats and durations. That's kind of cool. What do you guys think about that? So that would technically be kind of like a new mechanic in Raid. We don't have anything that summons an additional like minion or anything, other than we have the one blessing there, the Reaper, that has like a Reaper show up in the end and kind of like execute. You know what I mean? But that's kind of not the same. So now we have A3, which is called Monarch's Command with a 5-turn cooldown. This is an AoE. And before attacking, places a 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. If any enemies are killed, instantly revives 1 random Shadow Soldier with full HP and grants Jin-Woo an unkillable buff for a turn. So I love how they have his skills paired with this visioning of having these Shadow Soldiers. And his passive is going to be called Death is My Servant. Revives Jin-Woo with 30% HP the first time he dies in battle. Upon revival, resets the cooldown of Monarch's command and instantly summons one Shadow Soldier, and this revive cannot be blocked. Okay, that's cool. So a bit different than Sun Wukong, who gets to like pop up, you know, kind of continuously after so many turns. For Jin-Woo, they envision that it's going to happen once. The death is my servant, so he gets it one time with 30% HP. Also resets the cooldown of Monarch's command. You get a Shadow Soldier, and this revive cannot be blocked, which I think is great. And then for his aura, they envision him as ally attack in battles by 34%. And then they have a playstyle and strategy. So they envision that Jin-Woo would shine in PvP arena and boss Doom Tower fights, where Shadow Soldiers can act as tanky distractions or secondary damage dealers. His extra turn mechanic and unkillable synergy mirror his high-risk, high-reward gameplay style from Solo Leveling. Okay, I think they did a good job with this. I like it. I think it's fun. Let me know what you guys think for how AI envisions the concept for Jin-Woo from Solo Leveling. Now, I do have a couple different characters from the anime ready to go, and I did a poll, and you guys wanted to see Beru. So I thought it was fitting for this video. It's going to be Jin-Woo and Beru. So same thing. I asked AI if Beru was going to be in Raid, you know, what faction, where would he be? And again, let me know what you guys think of like the concept art as well. I think AI was pretty spot on with Jin-Woo, and I like how they imagined Beru here. So they said if Beru from Solo Leveling was to be adapted as a legendary champion in Raid, he would fit seamlessly into the dark fantasy style of the game while retaining his terrifying insectoid presence and his loyal personality. So they envision that Beru would fit into the undead. What do you guys think of that? They said undead because his resurrected nature, he's a Shadow Soldier brought back to life. His insectoid monstrous appearance, and his connection to the dark necromantic power. We have the Shadow Monarch, right? Jin-Woo. So it says, although he's loyal and intelligent, they say like his visual design and original origin can lean towards undeath and kind of like monstrosity, making undead hordes an appropriate faction. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that that fits for him? And they envision his name as being Beru, King of the Insect Legion, and they have him being a legendary void undead attack type of champion. And it says here for his flavor text, once a terrifying ant monarch, now reborn as a weapon of darkness. Beru's blade-like limbs and overwhelming speed tear through enemies with terrifying grace. Though undead, his unwavering loyalty burns bright for his master. All right, now let's see what they have for his skills. So A1, they have Rending Talons. Attacks an enemy with a 40% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense. As if the target's under any debuffs, has a 30% chance to attack twice. And they said a little flavor text with this is he moves too fast for the eye, then you're bleeding before you can blink. Love it. A2, Screech of Despair. AoE, so attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a stun. Places a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns, and heals Beru by 10% of his max HP for each enemy stunned. A single shriek shatters morale and bone alike. And we have A3, Royal Execution. It's going to be 5 turns. This attacks an enemy and ignores 50% of the target's defense. If this attack kills an enemy, grants an extra turn and resets the cooldown of this skill. So it means you can kind of keep going if he keeps killing them, right? Deals double damage to enemies under crowd control effects. So stun, free sleep, provoke, and fear. Those who resist the monarch's will face the royal blade. And his passive is Shadow Monarch's will. Each time an enemy is killed, fill this champion's turn meter by 25% and grants a 15% continuous heal. If an ally is killed, places a block debuff on this champ for a turn and instantly activates Rending Talons, which we saw is going to be his A1. And it says here, the will of his master flows through him, demanding obedience and blood. And his aura, they have ally attack in arena battles by 33%. So they're really setting him up as like an arena damage dealer, like executioner, right? So they talk about for playstyle and utility, PvE, Doom Tower and Faction War, to be used as excellent crowd control and to be a boss killer. Can work well in the Undead Horde team for Faction Wars. PvP Arena. So he's an absolute monster in arena with high burst potential and AoE stun. And then Synergy can work well with champions that inflict debuffs or crowd control. So talk about pairing them with debuffers or crowd control champions like Lydia Gurgo or Madame Saris for devastating results. What do you guys think about that? Those of you guys on YouTube, I am sharing this live on Twitch, and it seems like there's a little bit back and forth on that. Is there some comments that potentially the Dark Elf faction could fit a little bit better than Undead? Also comment, don't like him being referred to as Insect Monarch, he was a king. Well, isn't that basically, I mean, that's still kind of like another word for royalty, right? It says right here, King of the Insect Legion. So we do still have him as being a king. So I think that they still kind of keep that well. But I would love to know what you guys think, particularly like the aesthetics, the kit. Is there anything you would change? What do you guys think about this? Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop me some comments down below. And I hope you guys are enjoying this. This is the first video for the Solo Leveling X Raid AA Concept series. And guys, thanks for watching.